This is a session regarding how Hart Legal Educational Services uses Moodle to support the classroom learning. These are instructor-led classes, therefore our use of this web support is just for that, to support the learning. Let me explain what Moodle is. It's a software e-learning platform. It has a base of over 83,000 registered sites and over 70 million users. It was originally developed to help educators create online courses. Moodle can be used in many types of environments, such as education, training and development, and business settings. Now, it has a number of features. Let me just list them first. Assignment submission, discussion forum, files download, grading, Moodle instant messaging, online calendar, online news and announcements, online quizzes, and wiki. Now, for our purposes, what we use it for primarily is for files to be downloaded for both instructors and students, and instructors will have access to some documents that students will not see, and but we'll also be able to see everything that's there for students. Our second major use of it is for online quizzes or tests. And so the system is set up so that students take their tests using the computer that the school makes available to them or that they bring to class. And so it has to have a reliable internet connection. And the students will then, instead of doing their tests on paper, will use this system. Now, that makes it very useful for grading, and that's our third main use of it. Instructors will see that questions like true, false, or multiple choice, or matching, that type of stuff will be automatically graded instantly by the Moodle system. And short answers, or any type of answers that are written out by the students in Moodle, will be stored and organized to facilitate the ease of grading for instructors, and will assemble the grades the instructor assigns to each question's answer, and will add that to the test mark for the student. And so the student's final mark will be completed when the grading done by the instructor is completed and added to the automatically marked portion of the test. And the final main use of Moodle in for our purposes is assignment submission. An instructor can set up a spot that will allow students to upload their assignments, and it'll also provide a way in which an instructor can enter the grade for the student. Now, this is useful because it provides a permanent record of tests done by students and assignments and their grades, and that may be important to the school to meet requirements of either, well, certainly the provincial ministry or agency that regulates the colleges, and or the regulator for the specific profession that regulates the program, such as the Law Society for Paralegals or ICCRC for Immigration Consultants. So Hart and Academy of Learning, as I said before, do not use Moodle to deliver courses online, although that may happen at some point, but to support instructor-led courses. We have opened up web categories for 3 legal programs developed by Hart: Paralegal, Law Clerk, and Immigration Consultant programs. The first 2 mentioned are Ontario-based, and the last one, Immigration Consultant, is across the country. Now, if you can notice, I have the opening or sign-up page illustrated for Hart Legal Educational Services. And as you'll see in the web address window, it has the address you need in order to sign in, heartlegaleducation.com/Moodle. So that's what you would do, or you can just Google, for example, Heart Legal Education and Moodle, and it'll pull up a link to this place. And when you click on this, this is what you'll see for most of our websites. Some may look a little different in the future. And you'll see under Ontario we have law clerk, paralegal, and immigration consultant. Now, if I were to click on immigration consultant, for example, if I was concerned about a course in that program, I would simply click, as you see, and it pulls up a number of courses. I'm just going to move things around so I can select a particular course. And if I were to click, for example, economic classes, what it does is it then asks me to sign in. And each person who's entitled to use the system will have been given a username and a password. Now, you can see my username, but you won't be seeing my password as I type it in. If I can. And now it'll open up to that page I was looking for. And most courses are set up with this structure. I've got this window in my way here. I don't know if you see it. And if you follow down the page, the course name is at the top and then a description. Every page won't look exactly like this, but this is the general information you'll see. The textbooks, additional resources, and method of evaluation, and it should have the course linked in there. And under this main box you'll see these are all links to documents that are important to the course. And then following down you'll see that there's another box for each day of that course. And in this case we're looking at 13, and the last part isn't completed here. And so each represents a day of activities. And in this program it's limited to 20 hours a week. So assuming we're running it Monday to Friday, these are all 4-hour courses. Now, this would be the view that a teacher would have. Now if we go to, for example, a set of documents, as you might see here, some of them are gray. And if they are gray, that means they're invisible to the students but visible to the instructor. And the purpose of that is that there's obviously information that the instructor needs that should not be available to the students, such as their instructor resources, instructor manuals, for example, that we produce, or there might be documents that are provided by a textbook company for instructors to support the learning from the textbook. In any case, that can be changed if an instructor wants students to see a document. Now, I should mention that there are different roles or status for people who use the program. For example, there's administrator, course creator, teacher, non-editing teacher, student, and guest. We don't allow guests on our particular website. Students obviously would be signed up with a username and password. They'd get the opportunity to change that password to something they can keep secret. And their status as a student will allow them to see everything on this website, plus any of the listed links to documents. And let me just show an example. you'll see that it's lit up as red, class presentation assignment. So anything that is originally blue, they can see and access. Now, someone who is a teacher would be able to do some degree of editing, which makes them different from a non-editing instructor. And a course creator and administrator would have administrative powers to make changes to the course. So there's a descending level of roles here with the as you get down to a student with fewer abilities to access and or change things in Moodle, which makes a great deal of sense, of course. We wouldn't want students seeing things that would be a security for tests issues, such as an answer sheet for tests, and we may not want instructors to be making changes to the website that is set up for more than just that instructor alone. We would have chaos on the Moodle website if anyone could go in and make major changes. Now, administrators would be able to add instructors and students. So that's an important function for administrators. Now, teachers can do anything within a course, including changing the activities and grading students. So they have powers to go in to set up a test for students and to go in and grade those tests. Any participant would have to have a username and a password. And people who can add those will assign those items to new users. Now, you saw how I chose a course. Once you sign in, you would select the program as I did, and then the course. Now, if we were to go back, whoops, sorry. I went back the wrong way. But we'll do this for demonstration purposes. If we were to go back here to the page we first signed in on, I chose a program. Let's say I chose paralegal. You can see there's quite a few courses listed here, and it actually goes to the next page. And so we have probably 27 courses, and we have it set up so they're listed alphabetically rather than order in which they are delivered. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking for a course. Now, if I can go back then to the first course we're looking at. Well, actually, this time I'll select a different one just for variety's sake. Immigration and Refugee Law Overview, which would be the first course for immigration. You can see that there's many things on the page besides what I was showing straight down the middle. On the sides you have people, activities, administration, course categories. Now, this can be very important to find things. For example, if you're looking for a quiz, and we use the word quiz where you might use the word test, so don't be confused by that. A quiz is an actual test usually. You can just click here and you'll get a list of tests that have been set up, and for all or most of these they have been used. They could be reused as well, but that's one way to find them. The other one is we usually have them set up within the particular topic area for the particular day. So if we go down to topic 4 or day 4, you'll see there's a first quiz, and you can click and go in there that way as well. Now, This then allows students, when they're doing a test, to click on that. What they will see is a little different. It will ask for the password. There will also be times set for the test as to when they can go in and when they cannot. And they're not allowed, if they put in even if they put in the correct password, if it's not time for the test to open, then they will simply bounce back to the course page. If it is the time for the test, it will open up the test for them. And what they will see, just to give you a quick preview, I'll be talking about all of these things in much more detail when I go into them in depth as a separate topic. But as you can see, there's, even for you or me, there's a need to have a password. And in order to find that password, you'd have to go up top here where it says, as you can see, update this quiz. And this is where you edit matters for the quiz. And I should mention that you can unmask the password. It's right here, procedure. We'll just copy that. Whoops, I think. Go down here and we'll hit cancel and come back to the preview. So we're going to preview. We'll put in the password, and there's a preview of what the students will see. And so this is set up. Well, I should mention that the time given to the students will be displayed very visibly for them in the upper left-hand corner, and so they'll be able to keep track of how much time they have left. For this quiz, we've set it up so it shows 3 questions per page. And the reason we do that is that students, when they move to the next page, any answer they give here will be automatically saved by the system. And yet we don't have, it's better to have more than one on a page because it's easier for them to zip back and forth and change their answers as they work on their test. And there, now we've gone to the next one and the next, and you'll see that this takes us through all the questions. And they can then submit and finish. They don't need to save without submitting when we go from page to page because it automatically saves the data they've entered. So every time they switch a page, everything's saved for them. And this makes a lot of sense when a system is set up online and there's various points where there could be a problem with the internet connection, maybe a power outage with the whole school, or maybe even from time to time power problems or other problems that relate to the hosting site. So when they go back in after they've lost their connection with the site, when they go back in, it's saved and they can continue without losing a lot of work that they've worked very hard on. Okay, so that's what a test looks like to a student, and one can see results for various students, the grade they received. And actually, if you click on here, go into an individual student's test and see what they did and how they were graded. And so this system, you can see, according to the date and the names, who the test takers were for your particular test. Well, I'm going on too long about this because we'll come back to this when I want to talk specifically about tests, grading tests, or changing tests, or creating new tests. So, if we went back out to the one, I should mention you'll get a tree of different pages, and you can use it to go back to one other page that you wanted. Now, so that's an example of how students would go into a test and how you could go in kind of through the back door to set up or change tests. So you'll use this testing system, set up the start time and end time and the number of minutes they have to do the test for the students to take the test. Now, coming back to these documents, you can see that some of them have the W on it. Obviously that means they're a Word document. An important document would be the syllabus, or in some cases we call it the course curriculum. And you'll see it downloaded. And since this is available to the students, they can view and print out their own copy at any time. So the course curriculum is a very important document. It's something we've submitted to the regulators to get approval for the courses and program. So there's one of these for each course, and it has essential information, obviously a description and the textbooks used, and the learning outcomes, or what was formerly called learning objectives or competencies as it tends to be used now, and some discussion of the instructional approach and a day-to-day schedule, so the instructor and the students know what the general topic is, what's going to be handled in there and how it's handled, and what are the reading assignments for the students. This talks about the 4C text, which was mentioned farther up, and later on you'll see they mention the Fournier-Ruggles text, and so they set out the page numbers they need to know that they have to read for that day. So if a student ever asked, so what do we read for tomorrow? The instructor could say, well, you've been told through the syllabus, just check that. If that's an appropriate way to answer them without sounding too snarky, the bottom line is this information is supplied to them, and it helps them because we're training them to use resources and to think things through for themselves. It's already provided for them. And so one other thing I should mention is that each of these sections is not a full day but a half day. So class 1 and 2 would make up day 1. And the courses are all set up that way because regulators are beginning to ask schools that use the modular system a hybrid version so that there's more than one course being taught at the same time. So one could teach, for example, overview and refugee protection at the same time by spending 2 hours on one course followed by 2 hours of the other course, and next day you would do that again. Half the day would be spent on one course, the other half on the other. And so in order to accommodate instructors so they know what to handle specifically, if it's a 2-hour period, it was just more convenient to do it this way. So a syllabus is one of those very critical documents that any instructor would have to look at right away to get details about how to prepare for that course. They'll have the textbooks and everything else and all the reading set out that the students are supposed to do. So it's a very key document. One would have to make sure you get it, and also ensure that the students either get copies, if that's what the college wants to do, or know where to access it. And one would be wise to insist that they print it out and look at it. But that's the syllabus, or course curriculum. One can also store here for use PDF documents and of course other types. And you can tell from the symbols after a while you'll get used to them as to what they refer to. So Raman will take note of this. Now, instructor manual is a very important document for instructors. It is really a bit-by-bit guide of how to navigate your way through teaching the course and using the resources we have in Moodle to do that. So they're all set up in a similar way. You see an example here that this is the instructor manual for a course that is going to be renamed after the program has been re-accredited, but is basically the same course. Any variations between the two will be mentioned in the instructor guide. So there's a table of contents and a lot of basic information and discussion about how to approach the program. Many things that you see are taken from the syllabus, what the assignments are, and then sort of a course at a glance, telling you generally, or in very general fashion, what's happening in each day. And then you get into information the instructor needs in a way of PowerPoint notes. The PowerPoints are available, but these are the notes for study. And answers to questions. Okay. Can you come here for a sec? Okay. Well, I'm going to stop